Hello and welcome to Steve Says So. Thank you for joining me again, and thank you for all the amazing feedback and comments I've had since the last video, which was the travel package unboxing. If you haven't seen it, go back and have a look at it now. Should be able to see the link to one of the sides and possibly down there in the comments as well. So, final vlog before I go to Wrestlemania 33. Obviously, the title suggests what to take, what to pack, that kind of thing. I'm not going to be telling you how many pairs of underwear and socks and clothing you need to be taking. Just a heads up, it's going to be warm out there. If you're from colder climates like I am, then consider taking shorts, t-shirts. Remember, black t-shirts attracting heat. Stick to a nice grey colour. Grey's never been out of fashion because it's never been in fashion. So a very quick look at some of the peculiar things, or perhaps not so peculiar but not so obvious things that I'll be taking with me on my travels, and that you might want to consider taking yourself. So I shall be dealing with all the documents and cards and things like that you need to take, but first of all, a bag of goodies. Let's go through all of these wonderful things. Obviously, I'm not taking a Wilco carrier bag with me to America. That's just to show you what we've got in here. So, move that aside. Right, selfie stick, of course. How else am I going to be able to hold this? Wait, how am I holding the phone right now? Toothpaste. I know it sounds obvious, and it is obvious, and if it isn't, then you should consider your own personal hygiene and what's actually going on there. But toothpaste, I like a particular brand. I don't want to be having something else in my mouth whilst I'm out on holiday. That sounds wrong, and we'll leave it at that. So, pain relief. Pain relief can be troublesome, expensive, and hard to find the right ones that you might be used to. I picked these up in Wilco, 20p, 15 pence. Make sure you've got some painkillers, hangovers, anything else, headache perhaps from travelling, that kind of thing. Dental floss, that can be your saviour. I eat a lot of meat, and to have some meat stuck, say, between my teeth whilst I'm out there is not going to be helpful. I don't want to be paying for a dentist whilst I'm abroad. Just something to help yourself out. Now, here we go. I am not planning on getting diarrhea whilst I am abroad. However, when I've travelled abroad before, more so places like Egypt and Israel, I have had issues where obviously you're having a different climate, different food, sometimes different water, and you can get diarrhea. So this cost me 80p from a supermarket here. Even if you don't use it, it's worth having, just in case you do get a stomach upset, especially if you're from colder climates going into a warmer climate. You could possibly get a case of the squits. Have that. That cost me £150 when I was in Egypt, 80p here. Diarrhea. Now again, that kind of accompanies the diarrhea tablets, but if you're in a hotter climate and you get dehydrated, so you start feeling lightheaded, sick, headaches, that kind of thing, could be a indication, or weak, could be an indication of being dehydrated. I take diarrhea with me just in case. Gives you all your salts and sugars. That's about £2.50, £3 from any place. I've obviously been to Wilkinson's today, so pick yourself some of that up. Earplugs, absolutely essential in case you've got a noisy neighbour in your hotel, if you want to get some sleep on the airplane. Self-explanatory. Scales, I got these from the pound shop, so you can imagine how much they cost, and that's more important for coming back on the suitcase on the way back, so don't get charged for anything extra. Shower gel, seems obvious, but when you're abroad, you're tempted to take all the other things, shampoos, conditioners, face wash, that kind of thing. I just take a cheap and simple shower gel and I'm sorted. Padlocks, I need 2 for my suitcase. Now these 2, you notice the red emblem on here. Have a look out for that when you're buying padlocks for your suitcase. So these are the small ones, but that is especially for US Customs. So in US Customs, all of them have a master key which will unlock any padlock with this symbol. Now if they need to check your suitcase when you've handed it in, if you've got a padlock on there, which you should do anyway, if they can't get into it, they will cut your suitcase open and just tape it back up. Now my suitcase costs quite a bit of money, I don't want that happening, so I've got these. I picked these 2 up for £4 from Sainsbury's supermarket. You can't get them other places. Travel adapter, of course, I got 2 of these for £1. Again, in the pound shop, it's this one that you need, if you can just about see that there, with the thinner prongs rather than the fat round prongs. Fat round prongs are for Europe. Scrap. Now, I'm not really fussed about the colour, but I've got a darker suitcase, and this will stand out a mile. Just strap it around your suitcase and you'll be able to see it when it comes round on the carousel in the airport, so you can find your suitcase easily and quickly amongst the others. Finally on there, I'm from England. I want tea bags. Try and find a decent tea bag out in America for a cheap price and you won't. So I don't personally usually drink Tetley, but cheap and cheerful and small pack, that will do me nicely. Thank you very much. I'm English and I would like my tea in the morning. And onto documents. Listen carefully because you don't want to be missing any of these things. So passport first and foremost, and that's the most important thing. Okay, inside the Wrestlemania pack we of course have tickets. Don't forget your tickets. I've got maps in there and money, cash. Trying to get the autofocus on there. So got half my money, or some of my money I should say, in dollars, and then the other half is on my Revolut card. So if you don't know what the Revolut card is, go back and have a look in one of the previous vlogs that I've done and talk about the Revolut card. And basically it's a bank card that's preloaded, got it in there, still in the box. You load it up with cash and it converts it to your currency. Going through my documents, I'm not going to show you all here, but Wrestlemania intro letter for the package. So I've got my itinerary list that I've put together. That's for my spending. Another itinerary list that I've put for where I'm going, and it's got like my flight numbers and things like that, and the locations of all the events, just so I don't forget. I think I mentioned about iRide earlier. iRide. So the cheap bus service that basically goes up and down International Drive. You go onto their website and you can print off this map with all of the stops, all the locations and times and things like that. So again, save myself a bit of a headache. I've printed off, I've got loads of tickets here. I've got tickets for WrestleCon, for WrestlePro, and for also some photo shoot opportunities that I've got out there. So I'm going to be like meeting Hardys, that kind of thing. This one is vital if you are coming from the UK. You must have this. So can you see that? ESTA, the electronic system for travel authorization. It is basically your visa to be able to go into the United States. You need this. If you haven't done it, go and search for it now. Make sure you go through the Department of Homeland Security, the proper US site, and it should be, I think it's around about $14 or $15, something like that. If you're paying anything more than that, or much more than that, you are on the wrong site and you're getting ripped off. You need that. It should go through instantly, and you don't even need the document. You just need the number. But I've printed that off, so I've got it to show someone if I need to. I've got a ticket here for Mia's transportation. So if you're looking at how to get from your airport, from the airport to your hotel when you arrive, I've searched high and low, and I've come across Mia's transport, and they seem to be the cheapest. $20 for a single to pretty much anywhere along International Drive, $33 for a return, and there's some online discount codes you can get. I managed to get mine. I'm going for a single because of where I'm going. It just works out better for me, and I got that for I think $15, which was a bargain. Booking confirmation for my first hotel. So I'm staying at a travel package hotel for the majority of my stay, but when I turn up I'm staying elsewhere for a couple of days. So I've paid a deposit, and I've done it through things like booking.com, that kind of thing, and so I'm taking that to make sure that there's no dispute about my booking when I get there. A ton of correspondence from WWE for the travel package, so it's got all of the details on there, saying my hotel and all of that lot. So again, so there's no dispute. Nearly done. travel insurance. Now, you don't need to print off your documents, but I always print off my cover letter because it has your policy number and it also has the emergency numbers for your insurance, not just here, for example, for me in the UK, but also the worldwide numbers that you would need to call should you unfortunately need to use that at some point during your stay. On that, if you have got a travel package and you haven't done travel insurance yet, make sure you get one that covers the value of the package, and not just like, say, £1,000 holiday cover, etc, etc. It's not an ATOL protected holiday, so you need to cover your flights and everything. So make sure you can get that done reasonably. And finally, I've got my flights itinerary, so that's all there, all my details. There was a couple of changes in the times of the flights, and I've got all of the booking details. Now, you might have checked in online, or you know what time you're flying and that kind of thing. Well, these things have your booking reference numbers, they have the flight numbers, they have the exact times, they have the terminals, all of that kind of thing. So you've got all of your information, and you're not relying on your phone for the information. That's the last thing you want to be dependent on. If you lose your phone, you need to know phone numbers, you need to know policy numbers. I have several email addresses, for example, and I don't know which, might not necessarily remember which ones, you know, are in which. So, for example, have I got my insurance in that email address, have I got my flights in that one, that kind of thing. So it just takes a weight off your mind. You need those documents, you need some of those extra things. I'm not going to tell you how many pairs of pants and how many pairs of socks you need to pack, but that's it. The next video you will be seeing from me will be the actual WrestleMania vlog. So I don't know whether I'm going to be doing it in parts or one big thing at the moment. We'll see. 9 days away. Enjoy.